Warning, the show you're about to hear contains strong sexual adult content, situations, and other material you may find offensive. If you are under 18 or easily offended, please leave now. For everyone else, please stay tuned for Real Talk Lifestyle.
Hi, welcome to Real Talk. We're your hosts.
I'm Rob.
And I'm Sarah. Please join us as we discuss the swinging lifestyle.
Good evening and welcome to another episode of Real Talk Lifestyle. I am Rob.
I'm Sarah.
We want to welcome everybody tuning in tonight. For those that will be watching the show later, we want to welcome you as well. Tonight we are going to discuss the topic of hot wife or hot wifing and why it's becoming so popular in the lifestyle. Before we get to that, we want to let everybody know that here in Nebraska, the flooding has affected a lot of people on this side of Grand Island and Lincoln. So everything from Lincoln eastwards, there's a lot of flooding going on. So those out there that can, please donate to the Red Cross or any other organizations like the Salvation Army.
A lot of people have lost homes from the damage from the flood, so anything you can give would be great. They're about ready to declare Nebraska a disaster area, so if you can donate, that would be really great and helpful.
Yeah, I think I saw a story today that they're sending the Vice President of the United States here tomorrow to fly in as well.
Because half of the state of Nebraska right now is in a flood zone, so whatever you can give would be great.
So, I see your voice is still kind of
iffy.
I'm hoping someday it comes back here.
Me too. Yeah.
I got to tell you though, from the last episode where I had to step out of the room for a minute there, I went back and actually watched the show, and she was kind of doing the whole Wayne's World Garth thing, and I got a really good kick out of that when I went back and saw it, because I totally missed that thing, but it was really funny. But other than that, we're working on a couple different things here in our end of the world. A couple big things. We really can't go into too much detail right now, but we're really happy with the way things are going. We should have an announcement or two coming up in the next episode or the one after. One's going to be a new sponsor, I believe, and then some other fantastic stuff that's going to be happening down at our place.
It's going to be really fun. Exciting.
Yeah, I mean, that we can actually talk about really quickly. I hope my producer will be able to get the chat screen back up on our monitor here in a minute. I know he's doing some things. But we are going to be holding a Miss Our Place contest that's going to be coming up in the middle of April. So there'll be some prizes handed out for that, and the winner will be an ambassador for the lifestyle and Our Place and represent us. So anybody that's wanting some information on that, you can feel free to go to the website and then send an email in, and we'll be able to answer some questions there. Other than that, do you have anything? I know you usually like to start out with your news story.
I do. This actually went along with what we were discussing last week about educating yourself. There was a woman in New York who was a dominatrix, and she was actually running a dominatrix business out of her home, teaching people how to do the dominatrix lifestyle. And she had some neighbors that were not really thrilled about the fact that she was in their neighborhood, and basically one of her neighbors was kind of upset, didn't want that kind of thing going on in her neighborhood. She figured they could hang from the ceiling, do whatever they wanted in their bedrooms, but she felt she didn't want that in her neighborhood.
Did she own the neighborhood?
No.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the dominatrix was leasing her space, her townhouse, and she had put a lot of money into turning her top 2 floors into her dungeon area. And the neighbor would stand outside her doorway and harass any of the customers that would go in so they could learn the skill.
Well, they weren't really customers, though.
Not customers. Well, yeah, they kind of were. They were trying to learn the dominatrix lifestyle. They weren't.
Right, so you could call them like understudies?
Yeah,
or,
understudies,
Customers.
Yeah, not that good. But and the reason we were talking about educating yourself is because there's a lot of different aspects of lifestyle that people really don't understand. For instance, the dominatrix lifestyle, or the dom lifestyle, a lot of it doesn't even involve, well, actually, the true dominatrix don't even involve sex. So it's basically just that. It's the dom lifestyle. It's more about the act of what they're doing than it is about the sex. Sex isn't involved in that certain aspect of the lifestyle, which we'll get into more. We're trying to get a dominatrix actually on our show, but for the most part, if people don't educate themselves and they don't know about these certain different aspects, and then they make an informed opinion, and the opinion is totally off base and totally wrong. So unfortunately, this poor woman has to move because her neighbors basically ran her out of the neighborhood. So this is what we're talking about: education, and it's also tolerance. I mean, just because you're not into that certain kind of thing doesn't mean you should hinder other people from being in it. Just like you were talking about the government, same thing. So I just thought that news story was very interesting, and it's on Fox News. So if you want to check it out.
You notice how people are always scared of something they are not familiar with, they don't understand.
And they persecute it.
Yeah, and they always think right away, just because they don't understand it or agree with it, it's automatically bad.
That's true, yeah.
That just drives me nuts.
And like I said, I felt that I understood that woman completely, because even in our thing, we got persecuted from the government because they thought that, what we were doing is wrong or dirty. And they don't know anything about the people that come here. They don't know anything about the lifestyle itself. They just think it's one big giant sex orgy, and we're all dirty-minded perverts. And they don't realize that the people that are in the lifestyle are normal people with normal jobs. They have everyday lives. So, like I said...
And they all pay taxes. They do all this. They contribute to society, but... anything that is out of the norm is automatically censored and deemed bad.
So educate yourselves. I mean, there are different aspects to the lifestyle than just swingers and things like that. There's different levels of swingers, and there's different levels to the lifestyle. And that's why we're introducing the hot wife. The hot wife tonight, because that is another aspect of the lifestyle. So...
I had to dress up for this tonight. I decided I wanted to get all decked out. I got my tie on.
Yeah, you look handsome.
Thank you. I was going to say, and you got your new dress on. It just came in, and that thing is
smoking.
Yeah,
I love it.
I really like it.
And for all you ladies who always ask where I get my clothes, this is another Yandy creation. So, sign up for Yandy, and you can find a bunch of different clothes.
Yeah. It's very sexy, I will say that.
It became one of my favorite dresses, actually. So, yeah, and I just got this one. So, like I said, if you like my clothes, I get most of them from Yandy. So go to Yandy and sign up, girls. But again, back to the topic at hand.
So we're going to talk about hot wifing and why it's becoming so popular in the swinging lifestyle. I know for me, personally...
why don't you tell me what hot wifing is?
Well, okay, so the basic definition of hot wifing is you have a married couple, you might have a girlfriend and a boyfriend, and the guy basically allows his wife or girlfriend to go out and have sex with other men. It can be anything from going out on dates and then leading up to sex. It could also be in terms of having sex in front of the husband. Now, there's a lot of different terminology that goes into the lifestyle. Cuckolding,
which is basically
degradation,
humiliation.
A lot of different things. Now, with hot wifing, it's not so much in the cuckolding type of deal there. It's more of the visualization and the excitement.
Watching your partner.
And
or participating. In Hot Wife, you can either just watch your wife or girlfriend.
Or they can go out.
Or they can go out on their own and then come back and, set up dates, tell their husband or significant other what happened on the date. Or it might even be the husband is participating in it in some form.
Right.
But yeah, it's basically more of a visual thing for the other partner. It brings a level of excitement, actually, for both. The woman who wants to be watched, or the excitement of, I'm doing something naughty behind his back type of thing, which enhances excitement, even though you're not doing it behind his back. But when you go on these dates, you feel like, like you're not in the relationship at that moment. And then when you do go home, you're back in your own relationship, and it becomes hotter because then you tell them about the details of whatever happened on your date. The reason I know this is because this is one of our things. We like the hot wifing thing. I think some of his favorite parties are the hot wife parties that we throw here at the club. So
yeah, actually, we have one coming up this weekend. So looking forward to Saturday night for that, definitely.
So as a guy, why don't you explain what it does for you? Because it's I can tell from the woman thing, but what is it like?
Well, I know
about
for me, and I'm going to try and speak for other guys, but I mean, there's different things behind it for everybody. Everybody gets something different out of the whole hot wife. My chat window just disconnected. Well, that's weird. So basically, everybody gets something different out of the whole hot wife experience. It's really about whatever you're looking for to get out of it. For me, I love the thought of, okay, I'm sitting in a room, and yes, I swing and I sleep with other women as well. But
that's not really his main goal, actually. If you ask him, I think the hot wife thing is more up there for you than even the...
Yes and no. I mean, like I said, for me, what I get out of the whole experience is when I sit back, if you're out on a date or, you're doing your thing, all these scenarios, things are running through my mind. Oh my God, what is she doing right now at this moment? Because you're playing all this out in your own head of how the evening is going. Is he touching her hand? Are they making out? Are they kissing? Are they cuddling? Are they doing something naughty? All these things kind of go through my head. And it's that whole build-up and anticipation of, oh my God, I know she's out doing something tonight. Don't know exactly what it is. I know what the end result is. And then you're going to come back at the end of the night and you're going to tell me all the juicy little details of how your night went. And so that build-up to that is just such a enhancement, and it's so exciting that it just gets me going. I'm so excited, and I can't keep my hands off. I mean, I can't keep my hands off you. I know, all the time, I'm always wanting to touch you, because I care about you and I love you. But that brings in a whole different set of feelings when I know you're doing that. Or like if you go off into a bedroom with somebody and I'm in another room, because I might be standing over by the doorway trying to listen just to hear what's going on, or
he's more of a lurker than a...
Well, I don't want to be, like, I don't want to come out like, oh, he's a creepy guy, something like that.
He doesn't, I say the enhancement for him is to secretly watch without being in the actual room.
Yeah.
Without them seeing him. He wants to see me, but he doesn't want to be seen. And for him, that's hot. Like I said, there's different aspects of hot wife. The husband, some of them just want to actually just be in the room and watch.
Right.
And we've done that before too. I think he just kind of likes it more being on the down low for him watching than actually being present.
Right. I mean, and there are other times where I like to be in the room and participate, so it becomes a little bit more of a male female type of thing. But so it becomes a little bit more. Sorry. We're having some technical difficulties with our screen, but there's different ways of that playing out, but again, I think the reason it's becoming so popular it's that dirty feeling, behind the whole thing, where the wife or girlfriend secretly goes off and they plan this big date night out, and you sit back with all this anticipation, all these feelings are going through you, and it's that whole thing of excitement, and it opens up your body with all these different feelings that it's just an excitement is really the only way I can explain it. And then when I get you afterwards, it's like it's the eye of the tiger. You unleash the beast.
Honestly, like, I love, like, after I've been with somebody and he'll come back and he'll talk dirty to me and go, "You're my little sexy slut," or "my little sex whore," or...
I don't think I ever called you a sex whore.
No, you call me
I think a dirty little slut.
Dirty little slut, cum
something,
slut.
Yeah, something like that.
And for me, that's a turn on. I mean, and we've just, we're in different social media groups, and that was the one thing that was brought up. What word do you like that you find exciting that they call you?
Yeah. And
honestly, little whore, those little slut, dirty slut, those seem to be the most popular answers that women gave was, "Well, I like when he calls me this, we sex talk and we play." And
don't worry about it if you can't get it. Sorry.
For me, that's the sexy part of it. When he starts talking to me and goes, "Oh, you dirty little slut," or, that, and the aspect for me is, what I find hot is the fact that knowing somebody else was there and now he's there.
Yeah.
To me, that's so hot. But I think we're getting a little more detailed than I normally do. But,
and again, I mean, everybody
has their own quirks and what they
yeah, and I mean, to me, like, some words I might find are degrading and I would never say them to you. So somebody might find dirty little slut to be degrading. I would find, like, for me, if I was like, "Oh, you dirty little whore," so for me, that one would make me feel a little, this type of degradation, or
right.
So I wouldn't say that one to you, but like dirty little slut, it's like it's words, but it just makes it so much hotter.
It does.
In the meantime of while all this is going on.
The popularity thing, I've noticed that it's become popular with a lot more people who've been in the lifestyle a while, where they've done the swapping with the couples, they've done all the other stuff. For him, I think he had done everything up to that point. Mm-hmm. We had already got out of the swapping with the couples, the girl thing, because as we say, your what turns you on in the lifestyle is going to change.
Yeah.
And we went through that phase where for a while it was all single females. I mean, that's what we wanted at that time. Then we switched to couple swapping, where we we're excited about that because we want to be in the same room with each other having sex. And then it just, like I said, your lifestyle is going to evolve. The longer you've been in it, the more comfortable you are. And I've noticed with the hotwifing stuff that it's generally couples that have really done the rest of it, you
have to really be secure in your relationship.
The hotwifing isn't just for people who want to test their feet. It's really a lifestyle choice that has you've already been there, done that, already worked out your rules, already worked out the jealousy issues, because your husband is going to trust you to go out with somebody else. So there has to be that trust there that when you do go out, it is just that. It's that role play, scenario. It is not you're trying to replace him with somebody else. You really have to be secure. And we've been together so long that we don't really have that issue anymore.
Well, I mean, I know that, you can handle yourself in situations as well. So, do I worry about you when you're out in these? I mean, absolutely. You always have that little bit of, okay, hopefully nothing goes bad, but I know that you can handle yourself, and if there's an issue, that it's going to get handled. David, do you notice that we have like a banner around the logo and all that, or is it not on your end? It's like a little square box. Okay, it just might be on my end. I don't know. Can you get the chat window up though, or are we having issues with that?
Chat is fine.
Okay.
It's just
Yeah, no, I've got it in front of me. I can see the chat when you bring it up. So anybody that is out there actually watching live right now, you can go ahead and type in. It is an interactive show, so feel free. Feel free to type in, make comments, things like that. We're kind of seeing what's going on in front of us. So with that, we'll kind of get back to what we're talking about with. So I'll let you go ahead and kick it in.
Like I said, it is a real trust issue, because I think the first few times we tried it had nothing to do with jealousy. He would call me and go, go to the bathroom, or
I missed it.
Text, because I just need to make sure that you're okay, that things aren't going wrong. Because it is a lot of nerve-wracking pressure when you go out with somebody and you're just like. And I mean, as women feel it on our end too. It's like, okay, what's going to happen here? Is this guy going to be safe? So if you're thinking about doing the hot wife thing, first of all, like we said, you have to have that solid foundation. You have to have that trust. But again, you also have to set up these dates ahead of time. And what I mean by that is, just don't talk to somebody once or twice and then say, hey, do you want to meet? Make sure that the person that you're going to meet, you've talked to for quite a while, because it is a safety issue. It is putting a lot of trust in a person that you really don't know. But also, have your safety things in place as well. Like with us, he would have me check in with him every so often. He'd be like, just excuse yourself, go to the restroom. Just send me a quick text saying, I'm okay, that kind of thing. Because they do worry about you, and it can kind of distract from the fact of what you're really doing sexually.
And guys, you don't want to blow their phones up too much. I mean, allow them to go out and have their evening without too many distractions. Like I said, this all comes down to trust. So you have to be able to trust your partner to make the correct decisions and things like that. We all worry about safety and things like that. So doing these things at a club or some of these parties is a great way to do it. Be safe, yes. And that way the husband can still be in the vicinity and still know that their loved one is safe, right? Versus them going out. Once you decide to send your wife out on a date out in the real world, it needs to be with somebody that you've both talked to for a while, or the wife has talked to and really feels comfortable with that person, and maybe you meet in public once or twice just for coffee, and sit and talk and check the person out. It's just you sitting there with the guy, and then you plan a date. You should probably never just meet somebody and go, oh, I'm going to go set this up right away, without checking them out. Planning and a lot of talking and communication with the person that you're setting this date up with, because you don't want to get caught in a situation where there's a lot of weirdos out there, where any harm would come to you. So if you're thinking of doing this, like you said, the safest place you can do it would be at a club where there is adequate security and stuff like that, and your husband can still be in the vicinity. And I think, I'll be honest, I think there was a few times we set up dates that I would say, hey, let's meet at this bar, and he would actually sit out in the parking lot, and I'd go into the date, sit out in the parking lot. This is before. Well, there's been a couple times I would actually go in the bar before you, and I would I would sit up at the bar, or and I'd have a drink, and I'd kind of sit off to the side and just kind of look around the room and kind of see what was going on. And to me, that was kind of hot too, because I would actually get to see that part of it. And then when you would actually go and leave
and have the eye contact with him, he's watching, and that was hot too. I mean, like I said, you really have to set these up. Check what scenario you find hot and sexy, but also what scenario is going to make make you feel safe and comfortable. For me, I think when we did it the first few times, I did want him there. I wanted him to, if not be in the bar with me, at least be in the parking lot or someplace that I knew that if I needed him or something went bad, that I could, have a way out.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not saying this is dangerous. I'm just saying that, it is fun, but just, be careful about doing it.
Yeah.
The other thing we had is I had a friend who was into this, and the question was the person was talking to somebody else, and that somebody else happened to be married.
Mm-hmm.
And this my friend was not really into the whole married guy thing. She wanted somebody that was single. And she said, well, they're telling me they're married, but they have an open relationship.
And how to handle that.
And how to handle
it,
that.
So.
And I think the best thing is, I've always said, honesty is the best policy. Be honest with them. Say, okay, if your wife is really into this, like you say, and you have this open relationship, I'd like to speak with the wife. I want to find out and make sure that it's okay with her. Now, I understand that guys don't always want to involve their spouse if that's the case, because the spouse may not be into the thing. And,
but if you put it out there that you're playing with permission,
put it out there that you're playing with permission, then do expect those questions to come up. Do expect that the person that you're wanting to play with might come and say, hey, I want that other person's permission.
Yeah.
I want to know that it is okay, so I don't have an angry spouse knocking on my door.
So see, swingers, people in the lifestyle, they do have rules, and
we have standards.
We do have standards. So we don't want to mess with people. We don't want to involve drama and jealousy.
Right.
We don't want to break up families. We don't want a partner cheating on another partner. That's why we always say, if you're doing this, make sure you're on board. But also, if you say you have permission. Yeah. Don't be surprised if somebody calls you out on that and says, hey, okay, you're saying you got permission to play, we want proof.
Yeah.
Because, again, none of the people that are in the lifestyle want to see somebody else get hurt, because the people that are doing this, they know about what's going on. They've already talked to their partner about it. Right. So it's only fair that you're honest with your partner. And if your partner isn't into this, and you're like, well, I want to do this, and they're not, well, you know what? You have to make a decision. You either stay with your partner and you don't be in the lifestyle, or you say, okay, the lifestyle is what I want, and I'm going to leave my partner. It's just one of those things. You have to decide, what it is, but you definitely don't want to be cheating on them, because it's not fair to them. If it's something they're not into, that's just the way it is. And you can beg all you want. You can't change somebody's mind to get into the lifestyle if that's not what they want. And the lifestyle is not for everybody.
No.
So.
And so, like I was saying, if my friend goes, is it okay to ask those questions? Yes, it is. It is definitely okay to ask that question. Because if that is your rules and you want to play with somebody that is completely, single and really does have permission, then yeah, it's fine to ask the question. And if that person says, well, I don't think she'll do that. Well, then maybe that's a red flag with somebody that you just don't want to play with.
Yeah.
So if you are one of those people that says you're in an open relationship, be prepared for somebody to ask you those kind of questions, or want to get permission from your significant other, if that is the case. I know, like me personally, I would ask those questions, and I would probably feel a little leery if that person said, well, I don't think she's gonna talk to you. Well, then, if you have this open relationship, if you have this open relationship and she's fine with that, then she should be okay with saying, I'll talk to her. I'll tell her it's okay. I'm not saying you have to carry on an hour-long conversation with a significant other, but just say, hey, does he have permission to play with somebody else?
Yeah. And I caught a guy last week I was chatting with online, and he said, yeah, I got permission. We're allowed to play. She can play too. And I said, well, can she verify that? And he goes, well, how do I do that? I go, hey, we can all meet for coffee, or maybe I could come over for 5 minutes. And
so funny, yes.
And he turns around and goes, "Oh, we don't bring that home." I go, "Okay, so let's go meet for coffee for well, and there was all these excuses. So, I mean, again, guys, don't lie. You're going to get caught some way, somehow. And you might get away with it for a while, but eventually...
If you have a person that doesn't care.
Yeah, but eventually you're going to get caught. Yeah. And maybe not by the person you're playing with, but you're going to get caught by your partner.
Oh, gosh.
And then, there again, you're hurting the person that you're with. So you have to decide some things here, and you have to be honest. The lifestyle is not about hurting your partner. It's about growing with your partner, and we try to give out the best information that we can to everybody. Mm-hmm. And we do talk to other people that do podcasts from the United States, and I talked to Tom and Bunny. They've been doing this for over 20 years. They've been in the lifestyle, and that's one of the things we were talking about today. They were saying that there's so much misinformation out there on some of these podcasts, and it drives you nuts. So we always strive to not only give you guys a classy show, but we also try to give you correct information. We don't claim that we know everything, because we always try to learn as much as we can. We try to study.
Club owners, I don't know about him, but we'll have a night where something will actually surprise us. It doesn't happen very often, but we have had nights where we'll go like, "Holy shit, I didn't know that," or so. If we don't know something, we're not going to inform you on something we don't know.
Right.
That's why sometimes we will bring other people who are in that certain aspect, who do know about that subject, and we'll have them come and chat with you guys on the show, because we don't want to give you information that we have no idea about.
Bad information is exactly that, just bad information. So we want to try and give everybody practical advice, and something that actually makes sense. We don't want to claim all this stuff and give you guys stuff that you're like sitting there going, "What the hell are they talking about? I know better than that." So again, like I said, you could definitely tell when you talk to people or listen to these talk shows. I mean, because podcasting is really huge right now, and everybody wants to do it. But you can really tell the difference between the people that are just doing it because because they're out there and they want to just they want to be the center of attention. We do these because we truly care about the lifestyle and what's going on, and I mean, it's a big part of our life. I mean, it's not just something we do on the weekends and that's it. I mean, the lifestyle for us is a full-time thing, unfortunately.
So what do you mean, unfortunately?
Well, unfortunately, because what I mean by that is everybody has their day-to-day general life, but as club owners and things like that, it's all intertwined because, and I'm not saying that the lifestyle is bad in any way, but, some people just have their day-to-day routine and they do this stuff on the weekend. Maybe they do it once a month. We live it day in and day out.
So you really have to be passionate to do it, because I know there's times where I was, not feeling the best, like now, or I've been sick with the flu and still work the club, because I don't get that luxury of that time off.
Well, that's not... I mean, you did get a little time off. I mean, I've yet to take a day off, but I really need to here soon. But, I mean, you do, yes, when you're sick, you kind of, but there's sometimes you do power through it, and you are a trooper, and I will give you that, and that's why I love you. I noticed that, so in our chat, we had one person that says, "What do you call hot husbanding?" Basically, I mean, it's the same exact thing. It's the different thing. I mean, if you love seeing your husband go out, yeah. So if you like seeing your husband go out and do these things, I mean, it's no different. I mean, there's. I mean, this is the great thing about the lifestyle. There's so many different things there. Hot husbanding. I mean, it's not a general term you hear, but
it's not. I can definitely see it. Popular as the hot wifing, but it does happen, and I don't know about the date, setting him out on a date thing. Watching him sit at a table and flirt and stuff like that. I think that's hot. I don't know if I'd send him on a date or not.
I don't know if you'd ready. I don't know if you could handle that.
I don't think I'll be honest with you. I don't think I could.
I mean, I know.
I like watching him in the bedroom. I like,
So see, even us, and we've been doing this for.
Oh, yeah.
We've been in this for 20 years, and there's still
yeah.
So I mean, and we do have boundaries and rules too, just like everybody else. And I know there are certain things that if I were to go and do, would set her off. And there again, she has jealousy issues just like everybody else.
Oh,
and
when you wanted to do, he wanted a three-way. Have a girlfriend on the side, a three-way relationship.
That was a no-go, Ghost Rider.
I said, hell no.
Hey, I thought I'd take a stab in the dark and throw it out there, though.
I'll throw that out there, see where it goes. And he goes, well, what do you think? I look at him, I go, are you serious? And he goes, yeah.
Well, I mean, I was looking
well, you never know until you ask.
Yeah. And I did, and, because I was, like, reading on the poly relationships, and I'm like, and then I got to thinking, you know what? It's hard enough to deal with one partner. How are you going to deal with
crazy
two?
Enough as it is. We got two crazy chicks.
So yeah, that's definitely it. So we've already come up on 30 minutes of our show.
Oh my goodness.
So and I'm sitting here thinking, how are we going to talk for 30 minutes just on hot wifing? Because you go in, you do this, and this, and these are the steps to it. We're going to run out of stuff to talk about, and I mean we're already there. But why don't we talk about our sponsor real quick?
Oh yeah, we got some new toys, ladies.
So you're going to go ahead and reach over and, well, you know what? Here, let me grab those so you can keep your hair covered.
Is there a way to plug one of these toys in?
No, we can't do all that. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do that tonight. But we are sponsored by Pleasure Concepts. I'm going to grab out. We got a plethora of stuff tonight. I'm using all these fancy words today. Plethora.
Okay, ladies. And I actually own one of these. It's the Magic Wand, and I believe this one has a different... you
could show it on this camera right over
sorry.
here.
This one
that blanked off again.
Different vibration patterns. It's plug-in powered, no batteries needed, no charging. So it's a standard length, and it's got the silicone top.
Turn it this way.
Oh, sorry.
There you go.
I'm not Vanna White.
Oh, you want me to do the Vanna White thing? There you go.
Yeah.
Ladies, you want this.
You want this toy.
Looks like a microphone. Does it get AM radio?
I don't know. I do have one of these, and I must say, it is one of the best toys that I have ever had. It's the most powerful thing, because it does have the speed controls on it. And they also have attachments, if that's your thing, to put on the actual wand itself. Yeah.
Now this one here, this one is $69.95 plus tax. This is the Magic Wand Plus. You got to remember too, you got to watch out for the fake and imitation ones out online. Some of the ones coming from China and other places. There's a lot of knockoffs that will use the same exact packagings and things like that, so you really want to watch out for any of that stuff. Now, before you get to this, now is this his baby's brother or something?
Yeah, this one's a little smaller than personal massager, so it's a little bit smaller. And I believe this one actually looks like the one that I actually have. Although the Plus is starting to look a lot better if it's more powerful. But this thing right here is powerful enough, at least for me. And I don't even turn it up to the high. I keep it on the low setting. These are, like I said, one of the best vibrators I've ever had. I believe this one is a plug-in one. They do have some that actually work with a USB cord.
I'm pretty sure all these are plug-ins.
Yeah, this one's a plug-in one. And this one is $59.95. And like I said, I own one personally. I love it. I think. Now,
do you have the baby brother? Or which one do you have?
I have this one.
I thought you had the big one.
No, I have the smaller one. Yeah, I have this one right here. This Magic one.
This is kind of heavy.
I know.
Yeah.
I wonder if that thing's more powerful. And I do have attachments with mine. And speaking of attachments, we do have some attachments for these.
Now this one here is $59.95. Okay, yeah. Plus tax.
Plus
Don't forget
tax.
that.
So this fits on the heads of these massagers. This is the Miracle Massager accessory. It's a soft jelly cheese pot, tantalizing with nubs on it, and it fits on the head of all these massagers. I don't have this one though. Although I think I might get this one.
How much is that one?
This one's $10.40.
Okay.
So plus tax.
Okay.
And these
Now-
are the two that I have.
Oh, you have these two here?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I have, and actually, I have the one that's.
Look at that.
Oh, sorry.
There you go.
I have this one. I have this one. Actually, it doesn't look like the penis, though. It's just the curved part.
Can you say that again?
I don't have the penis part. It's
Ah.
the curved part. And this one will fit on top, and you can, use it like a regular dildo, only with the vibration function. Now, this one is $16.90. And then we have another one that actually has the little bumps and raises in it. Kind of looks like little beads. And this one is $16.90.
Now, is that ribbed for her pleasure?
That's ribbed for her pleasure, yeah. And then I have one more to show you, ladies. And this one is, it's just kind of like a nub that would go on top. It's got little beads on it. I don't know, fit on the head.
Looks like one of those caramel
It looks like a
apple.
jellyfish.
No, you know, one of those things.
apple?
Yeah, caramel apples you get
With
at
the
the fair.
nuts on the side.
Yeah, see?
You need nuts. Okay. So yeah, this one is $12.90. So, like I said, we have all these different attachments that can go on top of it. I have some of the stuff for the wand. I have used a few of them. Now, this one is a speed controller, and it turns into a wand in a variable speed power wand. So instead of having it on the wand itself, it'll actually you can control it with this one, the speed controller.
Also adds another 5 feet too, so you can run around the room with it if you want.
And I have had problems with that with mine, finding the outlet and the cord not being long enough. The cords are a little short on the wands. I mean, unless you have the outlet right next to your bed, which I've noticed that some people don't.
Right.
And I do have one near my bed, but unfortunately it's not really that long, so I really have to stay on that total side.
I know, I usually go in the room and I'll pick it up because it'll be on the floor and I'll start singing into it because I swear I was like, what are you doing? She got her microphone out again.
But yeah, so this might actually give you more mobility.
Call it reach.
Reach, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
So yeah, we have this, and that's $49.90. I do have to tell you, people, that our sponsor has let us know that 99% of the toy manufacturers all have MAPs on their products now.
And that's MAP.
MAP. MAP stands for minimum approved pricing. Basically, our sponsor can't charge under that price. So, Pleasure Concept customers, the price on their MAP, so they don't get fined. If so, they can't go below that price, because if they do, they'll get fined. So just know that the prices on these toys are firm. So there is no negotiation for the price.
Right.
But honestly, I'll be honest with you, the price that's on these wands is worth it, because they last for years. I think I've had mine.
You've had yours a long time.
I've had mine at least 4 years.
And that's why we say, you really want to watch out. I mean,
For some of the cheaper
you can
toys.
go online and find these, and you'll think you're buying the real thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of these.
We got caught up in that. I got one that he bought me, and I wanted one that was USB, and I thought it was the same as the Magic Wand brand. And when I bought it, I wasn't really impressed with it. I didn't think it was powerful enough. And we had some problems charging it, but we liked it because it was a cheaper price. So, ladies, sometimes spending a little bit more money on the toy is going to get you a better value. So,
Right.
as we all have experienced when we go and buy, this dildo or this vibrator is only like $10. Well, we all notice that if it's one we use a lot, then that vibrator is probably going to break down in a month. So sometimes it is worth spending the extra price. If you do want to order from our sponsor, David, are you with the sponsor's information out?
Yeah, and then when you can, go ahead and throw the chat window up right after that.
Yeah.
The other one's blocked off again, and I haven't seen anything. I don't even know if we have any questions or anything. We're all over the place tonight, so.
So there's all the information for Pleasure Concepts, and
I was not to interrupt. I was going to tell you that he is. The website is just getting finished up for the toy side of things.
Okay.
So when you go to this website, you're only looking at the sex swings and things like that. There is going to be a secondary site for all this.
All the toys and stuff.
And all the toys that you're seeing that we're showing and a bunch more are going to be on there as well. So hopefully that'll be up within the next week or two. And then you'll be able to go through and look at all these toys. And then down at our place, so every once in a while, the toy sales guy will come in and have these on display, and you can look them over and see if there's any.
And have the option to purchase them.
So if there's anything you'd like to purchase, he does take credit cards and all that, and he'll get you taken care of in that. So do we have any chat windows? Nothing coming up. Okay.
Well, folks, I do want to make a shout out. We had our St. Patrick's Day party this weekend, and we had a lot of quite a few people that go, "Hey, I watch your show."
Yeah.
So I want to shout out to my friends in Des Moines. Hi, ladies, for watching the show. And we've gotten some really great feedback from the people who have come up to us who have been to the club, say, "Hey, I love the show." So we really thank you all for the support that you are giving us, and we're getting new people every week subscribing, and so keep subscribing, and guys, keep the questions coming, because
speaking of questions, I've got one that came in, and I forgot to ask if I was supposed to read the name, so I'm not going to read it just because I don't know if they wanted to remain anonymous or not. So, but I'm going to let you answer this question.
Oh, lovely.
It says,
That's lovely.
It's a really good question, though. How do you let someone know that you're not interested in sleeping with them in a respectful yet firm manner?
Oh, my goodness. Oh, you picked the worst person to answer this question.
Well, I'll help you with it if you like.
I guess it all depends on the scenario. Have you played with this person before, or you just met them and you're not wanting to sleep with them? Either way, I mean, I would say honesty is always the best policy. I know people always like, well, I don't want to offend people, I don't want to be rude. The problem is, I think you'd be more rude to lead them on into thinking that there might be a possibility when there's zero chance. I'd say, I think you're a lovely person. I just don't think that we're compatible in that way.
Right.
I think that's the best way to let somebody down easy without being, because there's a fine line between being honest and being brutally honest. And I think
you don't want to hurt somebody's
feelings. Brutally honest in a situation like that is not probably the best tactic to use. I'd say being honest with tact. I mean,
and I'm kind of giggling right now because I know there's going to be somebody sitting there right now going, "Oh my God, is he talking about me?" No, Jamie, this question is not about you. This was actually sent by somebody else. So she's probably going, "Oh my God," right now. But
I know she's going, "Oh my God," right now.
Well, because she always seems to think these questions are like directed at her, and they're really not.
We love you, Jamie.
Yes, we do. Speaking of which, I know that I'm not going to say nothing about it, but they'll be here soon. But no, that question was definitely not directed at them. It was a legitimate question that was sent in from a guy, believe it or not. So, honestly,
I'll be honest with you ladies. Okay, here's the deal, and I've noticed this time and time again. If you are one of those ladies who comes off very strong and are really aggressive, some guys do not like that, and for them that might be a turnoff. If you are one of those ladies, you might want to tone it down a little bit, because I think it depends on the guys, but a lot of them like to take the lead into that kind of thing. If they have an overly aggressive woman,
that is so weird, because
and you think they'd be
guys. Well, and I think some of the guys really get caught up in the whole art of flirting,
or want to be wooed a little bit.
Yeah, it's not like, "Hey, baby, let's go in the bedroom,"
Although I have used that tactic, and it does work sometimes, depending on the guy. You can get that vibe off of them if they're into that thing, and you can do that aggressive stuff with them. But for most of the general, I've noticed that they kind of want to be wooed a little bit.
Yeah. So, and that was the other thing. So we had somebody that was like, they asked, "How come we always see you on camera looking up to your right?"
TV, yeah.
So we have a monitor that's like right
It's
behind
actually
us,
yeah,
and it's up to the right. So somebody had made a comment that they thought that every time I would say something, it looked like Sarah was rolling her eyes at me.
I was actually looking at the monitor because I could see the people's questions coming in. So when I lifted my eyes up, I would look up, and it looks like I'm rolling my eyes, which I'm really not. That's why we tried to do a monitor.
And I got
here.
to thinking. Yeah, I got to thinking. I was like, wait a minute. Is she rolling her eyes every time I say something? Because I'm dumb or what? Yeah, that's what it is. But yeah, no, we have a monitor up here,
yeah.
and we turned it off tonight because we were trying something different.
And
That it's
didn't
definitely
work.
not working right now, but I know what it is, and we can
Yeah.
we'll be able to get it fixed. But the monitor that we moved over here that's below the cameras in front of us we didn't turn off the sleep timer on it is basically what it is, so it keeps going to sleep, and so I'm still trying to look over here at the monitor.
I am too.
And I've got
keep catching myself. That thing's not on.
No, you're just rolling your eyes at me. But no, I've got another one that's like right in front of me, so I'm kind of like now I'm catching myself because I'm like focusing right down.
Yeah, I'm doing it now too.
So instead of looking at our video camera here, I'm looking down at my monitor because basically when you're doing these shows, you need to be able to see what's going on and with the questions coming in and things like that. Okay. So we tend to focus on these different areas. Hopefully we can kind of get some of these. Yeah, and then this was a spur of the moment thing tonight. I called my producer and I'm like, hey, bring your thing, let's try this tonight. And I didn't even give him an explanation of why. So he got it all set up, and like a minute in, all of a sudden it blanked out, and I'm like, hey, the monitor just went down. So he's like going in and he has to log back in. It's kind of a nightmare tonight. But we did have a question that just came up. I don't know if you can put it back up. It said something about a paint scraper. So I definitely want to acknowledge I want to acknowledge all the viewers. Yes. Yeah, anybody that participates, we definitely want to be able to acknowledge them. So it's from our sponsor. I thought you were going to bed. He's dealing with some of the flooding and things that are going on, and he's been running nonstop. And I was like, he stopped by and dropped all the stuff off, and I'm like, dude, you got to go home and you got to get some rest, or you're just, you're not doing your body any good. And he's like, I'm going home right now to go to bed. So he just wrote in and he says the magic wand is also known as the paint scraper, is what I had heard a lot of the ladies call it. So.
Oh, well, see, he just calls it Mr. Microphone. So.
I call it the microphone.
Honestly, he's actually got me calling it.
And some of the people probably don't know why I call it the microphone. If you remember back in the 80s, I'm going to date myself here.
Holy shit.
If you remember, they used to have a commercial that would run, and there'd be a couple guys in the back of a convertible car, and he'd have a microphone, and he'd like say, hey baby, we'll be back at 8 to pick you up, and he's talking to this microphone, and it was an AM receiver, and if you turned it on to a certain station in the car on AM, it would actually broadcast through the speakers. So that's why I always called it the Mr. Microphone thing, and that's what it was called. So you might be able to go online and kind of look it up.
My husband really scramble.
I know.
But I love him.
Are you rolling your eyes again?
No.
I do. I'm not gonna lie. I ramble sometimes, or sometimes I like to repeat myself. It's just because I like to make sure that the information we give out to everybody is out there and people are actually getting it. So I don't mean to ramble. Sometimes I do it just not because I'm even paying attention, but. Wow, I guess I do. You just thank you for that. I appreciate it, baby. I love you so much.
You're gonna kick my ass after
No, it's all in fun.
It is.
But again, like I said, we really do enjoy doing these podcasts. My producer's looking at me, going, "God, come on, would you just shut up already?"
Yeah,
I worked all day. I want to go home.
I got the look on his face too. Well, like I said, guys, we appreciate you guys tuning in. We hope you guys had a great St. Pat's Day. What you remember of it, I'm sure most of us don't. But we had a fabulous party.
Yes,
and we had a great
did.
St. Pat's Day.
Yes.
We hope you all have the same. And we love you guys tuning in. And just tune in next week. I'm not even sure what our topics. I never know what the topic's going to be.
Yeah, we usually figure out halfway through the week, and we're like, okay, well, let's do something on this. But if you guys have suggestions for shows or any topics you'd like us to hit on, email it in. Our producer's got the email address going right now, and we'll get that, and we will definitely add that and do that for you guys. And just make sure you guys are subscribing, sharing this with everybody. Hit that subscribe button. If you like the videos, make sure you like each one of them. Just hit that like button. We really appreciate it. We really enjoy talking to people that come to our place, and they'll sit down.
I enjoy people that come and watch podcasts and really enjoy our information.
You're like, that's how they usually recognize us now. It's like, oh my God, you're the one that does this podcast. So.
Actually, I had a couple that came here, and they looked at me, and the guy goes, "You look familiar."
Yeah.
And the wife goes, "Yeah, we watched your podcast." So he looks down at my boobs and goes, "Oh yeah, now I recognize you."
Well.
So okay, if you guys want to focus on the boobs, that's fine.
I think it's just teasing, though.
Just make sure
you do have nice boobs. I'm not gonna lie. So.
But like I said, we appreciate everybody tuning in, and so I don't get him going on something else.
I'm sorry. Okay, we're gonna go ahead.
We want to wish everybody a good night and have a great week. And
can we talk about something else? No, I'm kidding.
And tune in next week. We love you guys. Thanks. Good night.
Good night, guys.